Cool about it. That's fucking crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. All right. That'd be fucking crazy though to do that. Reset a shame. That's crazy that the whole city is on fire, bro. That's crazy. Mm. And if we can get over it. We can definitely get over it. It'll be an accident. See, and this is why. This is why. It's why. Mm. It's crazy that they're like that too, dude. It's how do you like how are you like that? What a fool. You're a fool, dude. Mm. Yeah, I can't handle it. Apparently. Hmm. Apparently can't handle it. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is too. But I don't think that's probably what it is exactly. Mm. 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 Okay. Mm. All right. So let's say they actually if they come back into this range and hold it. I think it is a good chance that they do. It's a good chance that they actually hold this area. It sucks that they made that move literally at the end of the day, and I had to close my longs. I had to close my longs and had to wait until New York opened to get back in it, hoping that it did not gap up. But I was long here, hoping that we at least pump before the market closed. But unfortunately, the market closed. So I'm glad it didn't super pump up. But I mean, one or two things can happen. Either they can hold this range and we see a rotation at least up into this range right here. That's what I'm betting on, that we at least see a rotation back up here. If the bulls can hold and we break above this range, we pull back and find support, we can definitely see a move up higher. But this range is definitely going to be a magnet. Price is definitely going to want to come back into this range eventually. And I know that we had a strong move down, but remember, I don't think we go down tomorrow. I think this is an opportunity for the bulls to buy the retest of the breaker structure to the upside. I think that was probably the opportunity right there. We're not bearish until the bears fail or the bulls fail to hold that retest. And then they come back and then the bears sell it there. And then we see that continuation down. Then we see the continuation down. That's when we're bearish, when the bulls fail and the bears are successful with selling the short. But I highly doubt that there's going to be a failure from the bulls here. We had this massive move up from CPI. There's definitely unfilled orders here. There's definitely bears underwater here. There's definitely bears underwater. I mean, they shorted 143 and price traded all the way back up to 566. Now, a more risk adverse bear is no longer in this position, but being a bear comes with a lot of stubbornness. If you have a big enough account, bears will scale into this as it goes up. Every pop, they will sell it. So usually when we see price come back to an area where they break, you got bulls buying it and you got bears buying it. Bears, when they have to buy themselves out of their positions. As soon as they get the opportunity to break even, they buy themselves out of their position. That's why usually those retests are usually very profitable trades because of the psychology behind it. Everybody is a buyer or seller at a retest of our breaker structure. Yeah, with this strong move down, I mean, all it did was, I mean, we talked about this during, I believe, Monday or Tuesday stream, that this was the area that I was looking for the bears to come in at. And we was using price data all the way from January 7th, I think. Yeah, so from January 7th session, they made a block of liquidity, sell liquidity. And you can see that price traded right up into that area, and we saw that rejection down. We saw that rejection down as soon as it traded into it. I mean, shit, it literally went to the high. It literally went to that that high that we drawn out. It literally did. And we got that rejection down after it touched that. So I'm very proud of that analysis, because we went over that. We talked about this exact price action before it was even on the chart. And that's why price action to me will always be king. Price action will be the only form of trading that I use. I don't particularly care for any indicators, because the price action will always tell you what's going to happen in the future. Always. And the one thing that I was watching on the ES, because the Nasdaq is still in the overall downward trend, but the ES yesterday officially broke out of it. Now it's still in a downtrend, but we made a higher high today, and it's looking like the bulls are holding that trend line on the ES. You can see that price did break below that trend line. And what happened? We talked about this yesterday. You see a break, a bullish pin, you go long. Price is now trading above that trend line. So we're going to see what happens with the price action overnight. My bias right now is that we see a slingshot or a massive short squeeze to the upside. I think that at least we can see 645 on the ES tomorrow, potentially. And once we get that retest of 645, that's when I believe that we'll probably see a lot of people selling out of their positions, and we could see price trade right back into this trading range that was formed this week. And this is the range that I'm talking about right here. This trading range right here. You got your breaker structure right here. It broke out. We have the bulls trying to find support above this trading range. And if they can, we all know that once one side of the market successfully breaks out of a trading range, we start to see the market begin to trend. That's what I'm looking for tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for a trend to the upside. And if the bulls fail, then I know that we're going to see a massive pullback. We're going to see a massive pullback, potentially back down to 918 on the ES. Somewhere around this area right here is where we could potentially see a pullback if the bulls fail to push this up higher. We can have it to the point to where we see price actually trade up to 645 on the ES tomorrow, and then the bulls take their profits, and then we see a massive move back down. We can see that tomorrow. All I know is that I'm going to be prepared for whatever the market brings. I'm going to be paying attention to a certain structure. I do feel that we will get some form of rejection if we see 640 tomorrow. I believe that. I don't believe that the market is going to trade above that high at 668. Not yet. Unless we see a crazy bullish move tomorrow. But I think the market is going to want to protect that high at 668 tomorrow. So I'm going to be watching that. And if the market is not going to go higher, then the only place for the market to go is to go lower if it's not going to go higher. So I'll be watching that. I'll definitely be watching. I mean, technically, that's it. Right there, technically. Oh, but I know that doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, because we just keep this damn thing simple. Keep a decent stop or slippage. I'm not surprised by that. That's usually what happens. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, I doubt that we see 800, dude. That would be absolutely crazy. But 682 though, huh? 682 on the Nasdaq tomorrow. If we see that breakout, 682. That'll be interesting. So if we do see a breakout, then obviously I'm going to be looking for 680 and obviously the high of yesterday's session. Those are two areas where I'm going to be looking at for tomorrow if we see that bullish move. I want to show you something too. So I was looking at the option flow yesterday. I didn't necessarily see anything in the option flow itself. I do see that obviously people are buying puts at the end of the day, as they should have. But the one thing that I thought was very interesting yesterday was price yesterday. They were buying 591s all day yesterday. Or, okay, well, not necessarily buying, but so we got some 560 prints. So they really think so these institutions think that price is going to eventually get down to 539, 562. I'm starting to see a lot of 530s. A lot of 530s. And they bought these after market. That's interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They bought these after market, so I think eventually price is going to get down there. Who knows, man? We got Trump being inaugurated literally next week, the beginning of next week. is the inauguration of our next president. And coincidentally, it's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which a lot of people are going to be off. I think the markets, either they close early or they're closed. I'm not sure. I have to look at that. But I know that I won't be working on Monday. But they were hitting 590s all day. All day they was hitting 590. And either they're shorting this area right here, which, you know, is plausible. They could. I mean, they're at the highs. We are at a potential area where they broke structure and prices coming back. Actually, let me make this bigger. Actually, let me put this on TradingView. And XBX is also in a downward trend too. I was actually looking at XBX as well, thinking about buying puts. But then I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, that might be too easy buying puts. Anyway, let's get the spot. So just like XBX, SPY is in this downward trend. SPY is in this downward trend. We did get a rejection from the top of that trend right there. We did see price reject at these downward trends. Or my bad, we did see price reject at the test of this downward trend. And if this is a real short from the highs, then I can see why they'll be targeting 530. 539s, yeah, because that'll be like the next area of support. But I mean, they would have to break through the 60s first. We would have to see a break through the 60s. Before we touch 30s. But as I was looking at, so I was going to buy puts, but I may regret this, but I inversed that decision. I inversed that. Not because I don't trust my own analysis. I just felt like this was just too obvious. I felt that because we got that move down the way that we did, I felt that other market participants are going to come into tomorrow's session with a bearish bias. And usually, when that's a potential possibility, I've become full-fledged, what is it called, contrarian. And I tend to try to inverse and try to go the opposite way. The one thing that I was looking at was this little area right here. You got the 21 EMA, the 50 EMA right there. You had the institutions buying 591 all goddamn day. They were buying 591s. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this is where the market closed at, right there. So instead of buying puts, I bought calls. I bought 600 calls for tomorrow. They were only, because of the market was shorting yesterday, they were only, I think like $8, $5, $6 or something like that. I think I bought 3 and it was like 20. Yeah, there were $7. Yeah, actually, let me. JC said, "Oh shit, dude, what's going on, bro? If you don't mind sharing, what's up?" What's up, bro? Yeah, I brought 3. There was like $6. My bad. There were $6. And so let's see. So I mean, if they don't hit, I mean, I only lose $18, but um, if we do see that reversal and we do see price come into that 600 level, I can 10x these calls and probably close them all for $1 and make $300 tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens, man. But yeah, JC, man, if you want to talk, you should be in a Discord. You should be. If you want to talk, man, I'm here. I'll listen. I know us men, we usually don't have not necessarily support systems for these type of things. When we get caught up in an emotional situation, it's kind of hard to find somebody that you can trust to kind of vent to. Someone that you can trust with your feelings and don't judge you for having them. So yeah, just let me know, man. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here to listen. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow. I think my gut feeling is I think I'm going to be right about this, but if not, I'm willing to change my bias if I'm wrong. I'm willing to change, and as long as I'm willing to change tomorrow, if I do see something different from what I expect, then I think I should be okay. I should be okay. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't think I got the drawdown for it. I got the drawdown for that. That would be like a for like an $800, $600 loss. You know, I got the drawdown for it. That's a hit. Yeah, I mean that chat is basically bearish. They really don't want to hear your bullish thesis at all. They don't want to hear your bullish thesis. It's the bearish chat. On the Nasdaq of all things to be bearish on. The Nasdaq is not an instrument to be bearish on. Mm. It's been a while since I looked at Bitcoin, honestly. We're probably going to see like a massive run on Bitcoin Oh shit! Actually, I didn't realize that Bitcoin has already kind of made a recovery already. It's going for those highs. I mean, it makes sense. We will probably see like a big, massive pump on Bitcoin next week. Cryptocurrencies in general, we'll probably see that. I'm still waiting on Dogecoin though. I'm still waiting on that for it to pull back a little bit, but I don't think we're gonna get a pullback. Shit already pulled back. It pulled back. Looks like January 13th. That was like what, 3 days ago. I should have some price alerts on this one. Should have had some, because this thing might actually get to like 50 cents or something. I mean, if we see a break above 40, a good buy would obviously be the retest. This would be a great area to, well, actually, this thing might super squeeze, actually. My pen. This thing actually might super squeeze. You have all this, sell liquidity right here above these highs. If price breaks out of this thing is going to squeeze, and it's likely to squeeze to 50 cents. Honestly, I really don't see a reason for it not to squeeze. You have a established area of supply. Once they got that break of structure, the bulls weren't able to ever get it above 40 or around this area. You break out of it, the next level of liquidity is at 50, but this thing can possibly just keep on going because of the hype. And especially if Elon says something about, I mean, obviously with Doge, obviously, with him being a part of Trump's administration and the Department of Government Efficiency, let him say something about him using Dogecoin, you know, somehow applying this cryptocurrency to whatever he's doing in Trump's administration. And this thing can super skyrocket. I've already seen forums talking about this thing can possibly get to $1. And honestly, I really don't see a reason for it not to. I really don't see a reason for it not to, based off of just hype off of Elon Musk. I mean, Tesla is now the market back to being the market's darling now. The premium on Tesla is now huge. Tesla used to be cheap. I was able to afford some out of the money Tesla calls, $20 for some out of the money Tesla calls or puts. But nah, Tesla's now expensive again. It's back to being one of its back to his old glory days where you go super out of the money, and even out of the money, look how expensive these calls are out of the money. I mean, you're not even touching 20. So you're buying $20 calls at 560, and Tesla is trading at 415. But yet the 520 calls are $20. That's expensive. And you're basically giving your money to the market if you were to buy these calls. So I should look at Tesla. Yeah, like Tesla's not touching 500. You got too much supply. I mean, the most you'll probably see tomorrow, if we see a pump, is probably 450. 500 is, I mean, shit, it hasn't even hit 500. It hasn't even traded at this level yet. It hasn't even traded there. You look to the left, there's no price action at 500. Is there? 420? Let's actually look at the monthly chart. Yeah, it hasn't even touched 500. And yet the 500 out of the money calls are $20. I mean, that's crazy. And this is a monthly chart. So if you're bearish on Tesla, I would rethink that. I would rethink being bullish or bearish on Tesla. It's obvious we're going to get a breakout of these highs and hold. We have a green candle where we did sweep the liquidity above this high, but the follow-up monthly candle, it opened at the top half of this candle and it's making its way right back up. Tesla is super bullish. I would not be a bear on this instrument at all. At all. My only concern in this long position right now is obviously that 200 EMA. That's my only concern. But everything else, if the bulls can hold this area right here, then we can definitely see a rotation back up into this range. 365 will probably be the first area that the bulls are going to have to try, or not try, but have to get over. Just put this down a little bit. I don't need to get it exactly. Yeah, 365 is definitely going to be that level where the bulls are going to have to prove that they want higher prices and break above it, because 365 has been super support, super resistance, and now it could potentially move back to being. You see that 360, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Yeah, 368. That 340, 360, 350 area support, resistance, support. 360. It was a value area high. It was a value area high, value area low, and then it was a value area high right here. So that 360 area is definitely crucial. It was 360 is right there. Yeah, so it's definitely crucial. And then you got that high of day at 372 on January. That looks like the 10th. So I'm definitely going to be watching how the market reacts around 360. I think that's probably where we'll go to tonight before we see any form of rejection or something like that. There is a wall at 340 though. I mean, this wall at 340. Yeah, you said 480 was the highest. Yeah, actually, let's look at that. Yeah, I think the highs, yeah, 488 was the highs on Tesla. And you said that I passed my Blue Sky account yet? No, that's like a 20K account. I can only make 4K a day in that account, but I only make 2. I blew one. I blew one of the accounts and I had to do the reset of shame today because of that price action. Honestly, you know, when I sit and think about what happened this morning, like I literally blew 11K. I blew 11K today. And I hate to admit that this is the reason why, but remember when I shared with you guys that you profit pulled that crap with those swing accounts. I mean, I had plans with those swing accounts, and then they pulled that stunt to where they talking about, oh, they couldn't charge my card and they had to close my accounts, even though I had the entire day to pay it. They just didn't want me to have those accounts. They didn't want anybody to have those accounts. That's why they discontinued them and they got rid of it using their scam tactics. Because, and then they, and they said, well, because I mean, they could have, I mean, if that was the case, if they couldn't charge my card, I could have always updated it to a new card. But no, they didn't want to do that. And I think that bothered me more than, I think that bothered me more than I led myself to believe, led myself on to believe. I had plans for that, for those accounts. I was going to take them seriously. I was going to get them funded and I was going to build those accounts. And you probably took that away from me. And that kind of pissed me off. And I think I was trading on tilt this morning as well. As I sit and as I was thinking to myself about why I was just so off this morning. I was like super off for no reason. So I had to reset that account and I had to start over. But my other two accounts, I was able to. So, I mean, I know I was kind of off because as soon as I took a break, I walked away from the screen, came back across my other accounts. So I made about, what, 7K with that drop. I made about 7K with this drop. I made about $900 in my MFF account. I got like $600 more for that one to be passed. But for whatever reason, I took my anger out on that account this morning. I don't know why I did it. And I was saying to myself, I was like, now, I mean, not only did they take away those accounts, but you're revenge trading an account that you work hard to build. Like you literally built this thing up and that shit was gone in less than an hour this morning. So, yeah. But my other account, oh yeah, I did make I did, so I mean basically I kind of broke even today. I made about 11K because I actually did I guess they don't have the balance afterwards. But I was able to make 3K in my other account, in this account right here. And I just walked away from the screen after that because I was like, I mean, I don't know why I was just so off. I don't know why I let that situation bother me like that. But it did. It happened. The account was gone. And I had to spend $60 to reset it. I'm gonna leave my stops where it's at because I was thinking about potentially just actually I'm probably gonna move it like right there. I was thinking about combining these stops and just kind of moving them underneath this range just to be safe. But if I move these stops, I mean these are already 50-point stops. And each stop, if I were to get my stop hit, each stop is $350. So this would be a $700 loss if price comes back and stops me out. And if I move it under here, this $700 loss would probably turn to a 9 or a 1K loss, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna have to trust that the Nasdaq is not going to be nasty tonight, pull back, and then make that move higher. I mean, that's even if you see the move higher. Yeah, Cosmo. Yeah, those blue sky accounts have a 21% consistency rule attached to them. But according to their rules, if you go over the 21% consistency, they don't add that balance. Because you know, like how Top Step, like if you kind of go over their rules, they make you trade more. I think Smith, my trading partner, he made the mistake, and they gave him a balance that was so high. It was like, yeah, you might as well just reset the account and start over, because I think his balance, I think he had to make like 12 or 13K or something like that in a 9K account. But with Blue Sky, they say that if you go over $100, that's all you have to go and get. You just have to trade and make an additional $100 on their accounts, instead of trying to purposely lose or win money just to adhere to the consistency rule that they have for their accounts. So I just keep it 2 to 3K a day. And the good thing about those accounts is that it's a static drawdown. So the more money I make, the bigger my drawdown is. And that was another reason why I was kind of upset about that crap that UProfit did, because that was a 5K static swing account that I can swing without a consistency rule on top of it or anything. And that's probably why they didn't want it in the first place. But I mean, so far, the Blue Sky, I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm still in the eval. But from the surface level, it does seem like Blue Sky is, at least for right now, they're a very straightforward prop firm. It seems like they do competitions every month. I mean, they give you a 5K static account, competition account for $10. I mean, how can you pass that up? A 10K or a $10 5K static account to trade in a competition with. That's pretty cool. Huh. That's interesting. Got the butterfly and everything. This thing looks like exactly like Twitter. This looks exactly like Twitter. Hmm. I think it's a cash prize. I think the top one gets $1,000. This is a cash prize. Dang, Blue Sky is basically Twitter. I mean, they basically cloned Twitter and put like a new name on it. And that's all they did. They just switched the bird to a butterfly, and that's it. This is basically Twitter. It looks exactly the same. They're not even trying to hide. I mean, they have the same icons, the same layout, the same color scheme. This is basically Twitter. This is what I was looking at, Blue Sky. This is basically Twitter. But I'm pretty sure this is Twitter without the free speech. Hmm. He said without the free speech. Oh, was it? No. Yeah, it looks, I mean, yeah, it looks exactly the same. He says Twitter has cut down on the free speech. Elon says there's anything he doesn't like. Yeah, I mean, I don't, yeah, I don't, I cut Twitter out of my life. I cut a lot of these social media platforms out of my life. Um, you know what they say about, you see on the internet and they say you do a detox. And then once you do a detox, you can see everything or you can feel everything. I did one of those detox for shits and giggles. I see how the algorithm works. I feel the algorithm working. And then it gets to the point to where sometimes I see myself in third person, like, dude, because I'll look at something will catch my interest and distract me. And then obviously the posts are designed to where it only gives you half the story. So the curious part of your brain is like, what happened? What happened? And here I am trying to find out what happened. I'm looking up details about the story. And obviously my mind is not going to be happy unless I know the full story and what happened. And it got to the point to where I caught myself doing that, to where now the only social media platform that I look at is YouTube. And I don't look at the shorts. Obviously, I stream on YouTube, so, but I don't look at any other platforms because of that. It is really distracting. It really does take away time. Like when I saw myself trying to figure out, oh my God, what happened to this person? Did this person die? Did this person get their issue resolved? Et cetera, et cetera. I'm looking up answers to these questions, and it was taking me away from meaningful work. So yeah, these apps are definitely designed to distract you and keep you in a scattered. Mm. You say you can't say anything about Elon? Yeah. What is Red Note? Is that another Twitter clone? I'm gonna look that up. What's Red Note? Hmm. Oh, the new TikTok? Oh, okay. So yeah, I did see that. I did see that about the whole TikTok thing and how people were talking about actually going to this app. Okay. And then there's a the actual Chinese version of TikTok. And I'm sitting there thinking like, dude, they're not going to let you. They're not going to let you log on to the real TikTok app. That's only for them. I mean, that TikTok, from what I know about that TikTok, it may change, is that they actually teach you, or they teach their citizens life skills, engineering, science, while they give the American version of TikTok destructive. They allow stuff on this version of TikTok that creates destructive habits, like scrolling, low attention span, getting that dopamine hit to the point to where your brain doesn't really secrete that dopamine no more, and you're just doing it to chase that dopamine high. Is this constant engagement, drama, story, dancing. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if you have something to do, those distractions will distract you. And before you know it, you spend about 2 or 3 hours in an app and nothing's gotten done. So that app is doing exactly what it's designed to do: make Americans displacent, make them quote unquote lazy, chasing a dopamine hit, scrolling through their phones, and not teaching them life skills. Versus the Chinese version, where I've seen them doing arts and crafts, cooking. You got kids acting as a community, helping, making their own lunches and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's actually look at that. Let's see if we can actually see videos of that, since that's like a thing. Let's see. Chinese version of TikTok. Well, I mean, shit. The whole thing is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the searches are just going to be flooded with this. So as I was trying to find videos, the ones that, I happened upon, the only videos that I see now are, everybody's going to red note. We're going to the Chinese version. If the government is so afraid that the Chinese government has American data, we'll just go straight to the app itself. No, people's livelihood is on TikTok. A lot of people has been making a lot of money on TikTok. The mother of my child, some of her friends were making money off of TikTok, like to the point to where if they focus solely on TikTok, they can replace their job. A lot of people is going to be unemployed come Sunday because TikTok, I mean, I don't know why. Well, okay, let's rephrase that. I mean, Instagram is probably like the closest thing to TikTok. No, Snapchat is probably like the closest thing to TikTok. But for whatever reason, Snapchat is just not. I don't know. I don't know what TikTok has done so different. Well, obviously, never mind. I know TikTok was like the originator of making videos like TikTok and CapCut. It makes anybody a professional video editor. It made people that doesn't want to get in the nitty gritty of video editing. It made transitions easier, filtering easier. TikTok really made people feel like movie stars. And that's what TikTok is doing differently. Snapchat is the only thing that came close with like the filters and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, they discontinued that. I don't know why. And I know Snapchat is probably punching the air right now. I mean, at the time when Facebook was trying to buy them out, I mean, if you built something, I wouldn't want to give it to somebody else. But for whatever reason, I mean, shit, they're on it. They're right there, right behind MySpace for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know why Snapchat fell off so hard the way it did, but Snapchat definitely fell off. It's not very popular amongst women anymore. TikTok, I mean, these social media platforms know exactly who their main audience is going to be. Is usually going to be women, and that usually defines the success of a social media platform. TikTok is the most successful right now because it has the most women on it. Instagram will be your next your second, Facebook. But if you classify sites like Etsy and Pinterest, those could also be quote unquote social media, not in a traditional sense, but people be hanging on Pinterest and Etsy and stuff like that as if it is. Mm. Oh, did Meta actually buy Snap? Okay, if I'm mistaken, then I'll take that back. I could have sworn that Meta tried to buy Snapchat. They refused to buy it, or they refused to sell it, and that's why Instagram made themselves more similar to Snapchat. But when it comes to stuff like that, honestly, I stay surface level. I really don't care. I really don't care. But actually, let me look that up. I could have sworn that's what happened, but okay. So, like I said, I don't care. But I looked it up. It says as of today, there's no indication that Snap has sold to Meta. It says the recent news surrounding Snap and Meta involves their stock prices fluctuating in response to potential ban to TikTok. So, I mean, according to this quick Google search, Snap hasn't sold to Meta yet. But I know that at one point in time, Meta did try to buy Snap. And that's why Snap saw that big bull runner that it had. It says, yeah, so Snapchat previously rejected Mark Zuckerberg's $3 billion buyout. And this is at Yahoo Finance. So, I mean, we can put this on here. But like I said, I really don't care. It says Snapchat previously rejected Mark Zuckerberg's $3 billion buyout. And we're invested at Meta's too far ahead to catch. I mean, shit. Metas are basically, they copy Twitter. They've copied Snapchat. Obviously Instagram and Facebook. Or when Facebook brought, now it owns Instagram. So, I mean, that's basic. I mean, Facebook or Meta. I mean, they have their version of every social media platform. It might not be popular, but they have their own versions. So yeah, So, I mean, as of right now, according to this article, Snapchat has not sold to Meta. But I'm pretty sure they're wishing that they did. I'm pretty sure right now they're wishing that they did. Kind of like with the Yahoo. But at the same time, I get it though. I mean, I think Snapchat would have been, because Snapchat really was it really was popular among women. A lot of women migrated to Snapchat. A lot of them did. I think what Meta did, I'm pretty sure there was some meddling. There was some gatekeeping, roadblock, whatever you want to call it. And behind the scenes, Mark Zuckerberg was probably doing something to sabotage them because they were his biggest competition. But you see what happened with TikTok. Once TikTok came and completely wiped out and overthrew Facebook, you saw how he reacted to that. I listened to this article, or not this article. I listened to this video, and apparently Facebook has been lobbying against TikTok for the longest time because it's its biggest competitor. It has the biggest market share of users. I mean, TikTok came out of nowhere, and it was basic. TikTok was literally David, and Facebook was Goliath. And TikTok literally threw a rock at Goliath and killed them in terms of popularity, in terms of the amount of users, the amount of advertisements that advertisers can put on that platform. That's why Meta was down bad for a while, because of TikTok. And it's crazy that Mark Zuckerberg's fear, I mean, he did everything he could to try to buy up as many startup companies as he could, and then the ones that he couldn't came out of nowhere and overthrew him. It's kind of like when you kind of think about something constantly and you manifest it into your life until it becomes physical. And then came TikTok and overthrew Facebook. But actually, let's look at Meta actually and see if the stock actually, I think we looked at Meta the other day, but we can look at it again. Yeah, look at that. Look at that breakout. Look at that breakout. Look at that. This is a monthly chart. Let me actually put this on a daily chart. Yeah, Facebook is super trending right now. I mean, as it should. I mean, it did break out. That broke out October. So December, January. So it's kind of retesting this high right now. Wasn't like Meta at one point in time like $100? It's like $70 at one time. Just imagine if you bought, it's like, what was it, like 2022 or something like that? It was like 2022. It was like $100 to buy Meta because of that. What was that, 2020 and in 2020 with COVID, it was like $130. Yeah, it was like $88. Yeah, there we go. November of 2020. This is when Facebook had that. I mean, Facebook couldn't win for nothing. Facebook was losing everything. They failed with their Meta project. They kept having bad earnings. They had mass layoffs at Facebook. Facebook was just so down bad. And I'm pretty sure a lot of insiders was like, it serves him right, because Mark Zuckerberg did a lot of backstabbing to survive. And just imagine if you bought Meta when it was like 85 freaking dollars, and now it's trading at 600. Just imagine all the people that bought into that right there. 2022, just bought $80 Facebook calls. I wish I did. Or shares. Massive returns. Meddling. That's, I mean, shit, that's what Mark Zuckerberg has that reputation. A lot of people that come out and talk about him, they all say the same thing. You can actually look at him and see that that's exactly the kind of person he is. You can kind of see, like, if you really look close at people, you can kind of tell what kind of personality that they have. And he definitely looks like that kind of person that would do that. Mm, yeah, that 365. I mean, that's probably where price is trying to go. Um, hmm, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I think I should at least get that first target hit. I think that first target is probably a sure thing. If we can get price to trade into this range, I think I can at least get 3 of these hit. I'm gonna leave this runner just to see how far I can run. I think yeah, I'm gonna leave that runner to see how far this thing can run. We'll probably see. I'll leave this right here. I'll leave that right there. But I think that's a go. I mean, we got the 200 EMA at the 336 or the 50 EMA. We got mm, mm, 294. I hated that I had to close out my ES longs, man. I caught that bottom yesterday at the end of the day. Hated the fact I had to close that damn thing. Like I said, man, I think we get to at least 640 tomorrow if we see a move up. If we see a move up, we have a lot of room for upside. Break of this trend line, 640. Yeah, okay. So that's I'm gonna keep that game plan for tomorrow. I'm not gonna change my plan unless the price action overnight puts me in a position to change it. If we break this high, then there's no point for it, or there's no reason not for this thing to get up there to 640. I saw on the Think with Bookmap chat earlier in yesterday's session that there was a lot of orders sitting up there at 640 or around that area on the ES. And it's not a coincidence that there's a trading high up here as well. So I don't think that's a coincidence. Because I mean, if they take this high out, there's no reason for it to not find support above 617, sweep that liquidity. And then once they sweep this liquidity up here, then I'm looking for shorts. I'll probably buy long-term shorts because these institutions are buying, like I showed y'all earlier in the stream. I'll show y'all again. They're buying like 30s and 40s and 60s, and like they're buying these things, and they're not buying it for no reason. Looks like what, 540, 540. That looks like the average. And if you're not familiar with dark pools and how institutions buy their shares, they buy shares before it gets to that price. They have agreements with the brokers due to their size, or at least this is how it's explained. Obviously, I'm not an institutional trader. Obviously, I don't know, but they usually buy these shares in advance. So when you see prints where price is not there yet or is nowhere near it, you use these prints and you keep a mental note of where they're targeting. They're targeting 540s. They've already bought these. So when price comes down here to 540, whenever that happens, they already have the shares. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Let's actually look at that one more time. 540s. I mean, obviously, it's right there in that area of support. So I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise that we eventually see 540. We can potentially see that later on this month. We can see that with Trump's inauguration. We can see that with the FOMC decision. We can see a move down. We got earnings coming up, or we were already in earnings seasons already. So, I mean, we have a lot of catalysts that can send us down into this area for a rebalance. And I wouldn't go short unless we see a break of this level, a retest, and the bears holding. But I don't think that we see like a big, massive crash. I mean, that would be absolutely crazy to give back this entire move. That would be absolutely crazy. Just imagine going back to 420. That would be crazy. 420, 408, all the way up from 600. But I mean, it's not like that's not unheard of. We saw that with Biden when he first became president. We saw that massive drop in SPY. When was it, 2020? Obviously, that was the financial crisis right there in 2008. Biden was like 2020. Yeah, so we saw that big drop with Biden. Or was that drop to like 340 or something like that? Like, when was this? Yeah. So this is when Biden became president and we got this drop. Yeah, we got that drop with Biden. I think this is obviously COVID. That drop is obviously COVID. And then that's when they did their super rate cuts and all the bears. This is when the bears literally just hated trading this market because, like, I've shared this story before, but I remember being on Twitter and all the bear influencers were like, yeah, it's going to short. It's going to short. It's going to short. And I'm just glad that I wasn't really serious about trading during this time, because I wouldn't have understood what was going on here. This is when we had literally negative interest rates. Money was so free. These Apple, Meta, all these tech companies, they were literally doing buybacks. I didn't understand that at the time, but I understand that now. So if this were to ever happen again to where we was having negative interest rates, I know exactly what to do. Honestly, even though we're in high interest rate right now, I mean, the government, I don't know if this is something that the government has always done, but the government has shifted from operating at a deficit to where it's purposely in debt. I'm seeing a lot of financial influencers, preaching about having quote unquote good debt. And if people are doing like these, these smaller influencers compared to the United States government is using good debt to become rich and not pay taxes. Well, why wouldn't the US government not do the same thing, but at a bigger scale? But I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I fully understand it, but I understand that it's being done. But anyway, so yeah, that was obviously COVID. This was the run up due to negative interest rates and all these companies doing buybacks. This is when Biden became president. And then after that, that's when we got that super run up. I don't think we see 340 though. 450. So David says that because the USA doesn't pay taxes, it's because, or I'm saying it's not that they don't pay taxes, it's because of tax code. People use debt to generate income. Okay. Yeah, that's actually probably going to be the next thing that I really dive deep in, fully understand taxes and how people use debt to generate income. I understand. So right now, my understanding of all of that is that kind of like when they did that run up, if money's cheap, it's just cheaper to take out a loan and pay back the interest on the loan. It's more cost effective, and you don't pay taxes on that, on when you take the loan out, and you just pay back the interest. And obviously during when negative interest rates, that's what a lot of companies were doing. And apparently what the Fed calls the taper tantrum, now the market is addicted to little to no interest rates. And that's why we're just stuck in this perpetual, when are we going to get a rate cut from the Fed? Because the market is now addicted to free money. The market is addicted to free money. Once they did that, there was no going back. I mean, but at the same time, if Jerome Powell didn't do that, then, well, we would have saw, well, I'm not going to use the R word at all, but if this didn't happen, then we would have got that R word. But now the market's addicted to it. There's no going back. There's no going back. That's why every time he raises rates, the market throws a taper tantrum. It throws a tantrum. We want no rate. We want free money again. We want free money. Mm. All right, let's see how this position is going. So far, so good in this position, man. I think, like I said, I think I'm gonna get at least 3 of these hit. I think we'll get 3 of them hit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And that's why these big players, they play with debt. Well, us quote unquote poor people. Yeah, they play with their debt. We get drowned by it. We don't understand how money works. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. I understand it to an extent, but there's obviously more that I can learn about it. Yeah, that's probably something that I'll start doing. I'll probably actually just take the time to probably like on the weekend or something like that, start studying stuff like this. Oh. Yeah, my brother was actually telling me about that. My brother was telling me about that. He was saying that uh I mean there are so many things that you can take a loan against, like your life insurance, the equity in your home for one. Those are the two that I know that people have told me about. And it's like you don't have to go and get your credit ran. You can just take out those loans out of your insurance and out of your equity in your home. Pay it back, do it again. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I guess, I mean, there's really no reason why I shouldn't, I guess. I guess, because I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, I guess I'm just a simple guy. I like to keep things simple. I could just make money with trading. That's fine. That's fine. But, um, if I want to keep growing and get to that next level, I need to start playing the same game that the quote unquote 1% is playing. Play the game at that level. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. You seem pretty insightful about all this, David. I mean, do you do this as a career? Is this something that you study in your free time? Yeah, that's definitely right, Seppuku. Yeah. Yeah. It just seems that, well, not seems. The only thing that I already have my opinion about this, but I am willing to change it. If I mean, well, because I only see the bad side of owning real estate. I only see the bad. I've seen what people do to your property. I've seen it firsthand. I mean, I share this story with you guys because uh it literally blew my mind. It was someone that I knew. They had nothing but kids in the house that somebody was renting to them. And obviously kids, you know, they destroyed things. I have one, and as soon as I clean up her room, she makes it a point to destroy it. And it looks exactly how, you know, it looks when I first started to clean it. So, I mean, I understand that kids are just going to be kids. I get it. But what blew my mind was the owner of the house was like, okay, we're going to come in. We're going to replace these carpets because the carpets were obviously destroyed. We're going to replace the carpets. They came in, replaced the carpets, and literally less than 24 hours, that carpet looked exactly as if they never changed it. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, I don't ever have to deal with this. I don't ever have to deal with this. This person apparently, obviously the homeowner kicked them out, obviously. And they tried to sue for the damages to the carpet because I was like, dude, I just put new carpets in this shit. And I come back and it looks exactly as if it's like I just gave the contractors free money because the carpet looked exactly the same as if I didn't do shit. But they went to court, and the story that I was told was that the court system is not in favor of the homeowner, but the tenant. They told him, or they told me, that the judgment from the judge was you knew what you were getting into when you rented your house out. These are, I guess, a quote unquote business expense. And they didn't have to pay them a dime. So that situation has stayed with me, and it's going to probably stay with me forever. And then obviously you guys, social media now, and you hear the same horror stories online. You have to worry about squatters, and it's like, why the hell? Like, why is it that if I go on vacation, I come back and somebody's in my crib? I mean, obviously no one knows that they're there, so I mean, they can find themselves in the backyard for sure. But why the hell do I need to, like, I mean, why does the squatter has more rights to my house than me? like it's like the craziest thing in the world. And then the court system is obviously is overwhelmed. So I mean, it usually take years. I've heard the horror stories about it's years. You got people living in your house, they're not paying rent, it's not on the market, and they're just destroying it. And by the time you get your house back, it's completely destroyed. Like I said, I only heard the horror stories of real estate, and it's I really don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to invest into stuff like that. But I do see that, you know, people make a lot of money in real estate. You have property managers, you have this, you have that. My brother is trying to convince me to do it, and I'm like, bro, no. I don't even want to deal with the stress. Dealing with other people 24/7, no. I rented out a duplex. The guy was like, wow, you're probably the first tenant that I had that left the duplex look exactly the same how I rented it out to you. Why are you leaving? I was moving. Yeah, like I literally had him, like he was looking around and was like, wow, I can't believe that you didn't destroy my house. It's like, what are you talking about? I just didn't understand at the time what he was saying, but obviously with social media, now we do. So, yeah. Yeah, I think so too, man. But it's taxes. Yeah, 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 dude. I mean, you got to be a strong person to be a landlord. You're dealing with everybody, anybody, and everybody. You're dealing with all kind of personalities. People come up with their horror stories. I mean, not their horror stories. They're sorry. They're man, what's anyway. They can pay for everything else, but Apparently, they pay to get their hair done. They can pay to get their new clothes. They can pay to get this, pay to get that, but all of a sudden you don't got no money for rent, and you can't kick them out. Got to go to court, like do this, like oh my god. Just thinking about it, I was like, that's just too much work for money. Yeah, shit. There's so much. There's other ways to make money, easier ways. So yeah, I was like, my brother was like, dude, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with that crap. I am not dealing with that. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Businesses shoot. Yeah, that's crazy. With these businesses now, like it seems like it's like the government is very two-faced when it comes to businesses. Like they give you tax deductions, they give you a lot of benefits for being a business owner, but then they don't give, and then they, but then they take your rights away. Like you gotta, if somebody's robbing your store, they literally take away, well, let me rephrase that to be politically correct. They don't take it away, but if you have the audacity to try to protect your business, oh, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. It's one of those unspoken words where you have to let them, you have to let somebody vandalize or rob your business because quote unquote you have the insurance. And any form of retaliation, you could see yourself behind bars. We've already seen it. We see it on the news all the time. Uh, shoot, what's that situation in New York where the guy was protecting his bodega and he was the one that was being arrested because he was getting robbed and he defended himself? California. I mean, it's gotten so bad out there that people have to literally leave their doors open so people don't break into their windows. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's unfortunate that half the city is on fire, but the laws out there when it comes to businesses, especially in these blue states, they don't protect businesses. But then at the same time, when you say, hey, I don't want to be a business owner no more, I'm moving my business somewhere else, then all of a sudden they want to try to penalize you for it and say, no, we need you to stay. What was that grocery store in Chicago or in Illinois where the government had to take over it because it was like, nah, there was too much theft. We're losing money and we're leaving. And they try to say, no, we need the grocery store. And then they try to, with their sob stories about, being a community. Well, shit, the community is robbing me blind. This is a business. And you're not doing anything to help me protect the products that I provide to the community for a price. They trying to make capitalism a bad thing, but yet the government will sit here and tax you to hell. Yeah. So it's like, well, you really have to want to do certain things because obviously the law is not going to be on your side if it comes down to it. But I guess let me get off my soapbox. Yeah, but all right. Yeah. Mm. But all right, guys. I'm going to go to bed. We're going to come back tomorrow. Like I said, I do think that we're going to see a big squeeze tomorrow. I'm prepared to change my bias if I'm wrong. But my current bias is that we're going to see highs tomorrow. We're going to see a short squeeze. The reason why is that the ES is holding this area. They held it. We got a break below that trend line, and you can see that we're trading right back above it. So that tells me that the bears failed to rotate price lower. The bears failed here, and the bulls bought. Same thing on the Nasdaq. We had a comeback. So obviously they swept the liquidity underneath this low right here. I thought that they was going to at least get to like 150, 140 to test these highs. But apparently, at least for right now, the market is content with the liquidity that was underneath this low right here. So that liquidity has been swept and we're seeing that bullish reaction. I'm not blind to the fact that we do have the EMAs all sloping to the downside. So we're going to definitely have to see if the bulls are definitely going to have to prove that they want it, because right now the bears do have the momentum, but I think that was just to get the bears all trapped, all nice and trapped, get them comfortable, get them all nice and trapped so we can use them stops to squeeze this market higher. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I noticed that yesterday 364 was yesterday's low, value area low. Okay, so I do believe that we're going to at least see 360 before. We're going to at least see 360. And then we're going to probably get a pullback. Yeah, we're definitely going to at least see 360 for sure. 360 for sure. And if we get a rotation above this range right here, if they do manage to break past that range, where is it at? 600, 616. We could see a move to 616. But I'm still going to keep my eyes on 675, but 616. So I can look at that. We got a low at 615 right here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But all right, guys, that's it. We'll definitely come back tomorrow and we'll definitely earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. You said where are all the minis that I had running? Oh, this is on a different chart. This is on a different chart. This is my higher time frame chart. And this is actually micros, not minis. These are micros. And yeah, so this is, you said, where are they at? Yeah, these are where my targets are. These are the areas that I'm targeting. I do think that 365 will probably see a rejection here or somewhere around here. Probably like put that right there, 350. I put that at 350 right there, right before that low. All right, there goes that squeeze. Well, shit, let's see if we can get this target hit. I mean, if we see a rejection, then I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna wait on it. But let's see if we can at least get that first target hit. I'll give it to like 3 minutes. I'll give it 3 minutes. I give it 3 minutes. Well, usually this is how I trade. I do trade with minis, but tonight, this account only has like $1,000 worth of drawdown in it. So I'm trading micros on it, but I do trade with minis and I do shoot for big targets on minis. I usually trade minis in the morning stream. It's just I would have taken this long with minis, but like I said, I just don't have drawdown. My biggest size, I trade with 4 minis on the Nasdaq and the ES. So, okay, so that first target got hit. Cool, that's fine. I'll take that. Yeah, so usually with my position sizing, I prefer to trade the ES. The reason I do trade the Nasdaq is just that I fall victim to gambling when I trade the Nasdaq. I just fall victim to gambling, so I trade the ES more often now. With the Nasdaq, it's because she has such a potential to move. I mean, today, I mean, shit, this move right here towards the end of the day was 395 and it got all the way to 171. That was like what? Almost like a, what is that? 395? And that was 171. I mean, at the end of the day, this was like a 220 point move by itself. So I fall victim to this. I do trade bigger size, or I do prefer to trade with bigger targets. I like to average 80 to 100, 200. I think my biggest position that I've gotten on stream was probably like 550 points. I literally got in at pre-market. I rode it all the way into New York. And that was my biggest one so far is 550 points. I prefer to trade from demand to supply and swing. But yeah, even though I have actually I have more than 50 points on this. I was actually in at 208. I was in at 208. That was actually my first target. I think my first target on these are like 80 points. Yeah, my first target on these are 80 points. 324 divided into 4. Yeah, so that first target was 81 points. So that was actually 81 points right here. My next target comes off, I think, at 90 points. So I think once price tests the bottom of this range, I think one more comes off. I scaled into this position right here at this dip. I just scaled into it. But okay. Yeah, I mean that was a super drop, and that's why I only trade the Nasdaq and the sim most of the time, and just focus on building my account on the ES because I don't have to I don't fall victim to the ES. She doesn't overshoot. I mean, you can catch a move on the ES, but she doesn't trade past supply and demand like the NQ is capable of. And kind of like right here, she'll just trade through it. And then after she trades through it, she'll get a big move back into an area and then find support. The NASDAQ is so notorious for doing this. People that get it long right here, they get stopped out. And as soon as they get stopped out, price comes right back into support, finds support, and then it makes its move up. And this is why I fall victim to the NASDAQ most of the time. That competition account, I fell victim to that on Friday. I was up 6K in that account and I could have stopped. I was in first place, but I blew the account because I couldn't stop or I didn't want to stop. I was, I guess what they call in blackjack, I was on a heater. All my positions were winning. And the one thing that I like to do on the NASDAQ is sometimes if my targets are right here and I see supply right here, 9 times out of 10, I'll ignore it, hoping that price can just get through it. And I do that so often on the NASDAQ, and I blow accounts like that on the NASDAQ because once it falls, I'm going to chase it, obviously. I just fall victim to gambling on NASDAQ. That's why I try not to trade it as much. When was Friday? Friday was the 9th. When was Friday? It was the 9th. because we had that massive run up. And Friday was the 10th. The 10th. Yeah, we had that massive run up and then it dropped. Yeah, this is where, okay, so I was trading the Nasdaq in that competition account. I was just scalping my way up and I was about 6K at these highs. But I thought that the market was at least going to get to 200. So once it dipped, I scaled into this thing at the top and obviously it dropped and I blew the account. And I saw it, but I just ignored it because I was high off gambling. I was high that the market just kept going up and up and up and up. It wasn't shorting. All my long positions, I was getting all my targets hit. And I saw this area of liquidity and I was like, damn. But I think the market is going to get to 200 or to at least 230. And I don't want to miss that. I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to keep going. Just like any other gambler. Once you're on a win streak, it's not about the money. It's about the chasing that high. That's all it is. That's all it is chasing that high. And I found out real quick that when you ignore the price action to the left and you think that you know more than the market with your too many contracts, when there's billions of dollars, trillions of dollars being traded in this market and you think you know better than the market, you'll find out. And I found out that Friday. And I'm not going to lie, man, that actually hurt my feelings too. Because I couldn't believe I allowed myself to do that. Like that, it really did hurt my feelings. Had to sing a sad song over the weekend. I'm just playing, but yeah, that really did hurt my feelings because I was like, wow, I let myself do that crap yet again. But all right, guys, we'll definitely come back tomorrow morning. We'll definitely earn some more money tomorrow. I do believe that we will see that move higher today or tomorrow. All right, so I got two more targets hit. I got 2 more targets hit. So I think I can at least get this one at 330 hit. I can at least get this one hit. But these higher ones, I think I'm going to have to swing these until tomorrow. I do got a runner up here at 650. We'll see if we'll get it hit, but I'm going to leave it there just in case. All right, guys. Peace out.